Hi.
Yo.
Yo. 3 times a week, guys.
Yo.
3 times a week?
Can they handle 3 times
I don't know. We're going to see. Listen, I'm no Justin No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
We are the Loose Cannons Podcast because every week we are firing off our opinions on today's pop culture, politics, and movies and how they all intersect.
Yes.
Check it out.
They
The
ready?
movie review.
Yo.
I had a great time.
Yo, honestly, I had a better time than I expected.
Man.
Yes.
I guess we can't keep it a secret. Angel has fallen.
Yes, the 3rd installment.
The president's top guardian angel has fallen.
Can't you see? I'm being set up.
You can't hide from us.
Don't worry about finding me. I'll find you.
Angel has fallen. Rated R.
Is it?
Yeah, right?
No, it was only 2.
You sure?
No, I'm not sure.
They did the one at the White House.
Yep.
That was the one where Aaron Eckhart was the president, right?
That's Olympus Has Fallen.
And then they did the one in Paris, right? With Angela Bassett.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I know what I'm talking about.
You're right.
3rd installment trilogy.
3rd installment, Angels Have Fallen.
Yes.
Angel standing for the Guardian Angel, standing for the Secret Service.
Yes.
Whoa.
And this time, Rich Bannon. I don't know what his first name is.
Me neither.
All right. Bannon,
Yep.
played by Gerard Butler.
Yes.
Now they think it's him who's
Yes.
going after the president.
Whoa.
All right. Okay. Brand new.
Whoa.
Okay. I'll take
Obviously, we know it's a setup. He's been set up.
it. Right. And we got Mr. President himself, played by Morgan Freeman. Been president since 1998 in Deep Impact.
Yep.
You know, 21 years and running. He's
Yep.
been a world leader, or he's been God, or he's
Yep.
been helping Bruce Wayne build
Yeah.
stuff.
He had an interesting shape up in this one.
Yo, did you see his plastic hand?
No.
Man, I always pay attention. Yo, every time I see
Oh
Morgan
my-
Freeman now, I only think about the plastic hand.
Get out of here. I did
Yeah.
not see the plastic hand.
All right, so it's his left hand,
Yes.
and this whole here is plastic.
Get out of here.
So he only has some functions in these 2 fingers. And look, Morgan Freeman got money.
Yep.
He was just like, because the hand got crushed.
Yep.
So he was like, just put a prosthetic, like surgically.
Yeah.
And so if you watch any movies, this flaps like.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, he ain't got no function in it. It's just a prosthetic. It just looks like his hand though. That's it.
Morgan Freeman's hand has fallen.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Yo, I can't
Lord.
stand
We got to stop. We got to stop before they shut us down before we even make it.
So, the one scene in which you could really see it is when he's fishing.
Okay.
So when he's fishing, his hand is down because he can't ball it.
Yeah.
Yo,
No, he can't. No, he can't hold no little yard.
So I was just
rods?
like, oh man.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. You know when you could really see it, and The Dark Knight Rises. You know when his underground where he's holding the Batmobile and stuff.
Yep.
It's starting to get flooded, and he has to run to the ladder and move up the ladder.
Yeah.
He can't climb up the ladder, so he balls like this because he can't grab the rail.
Oh, shit.
So when he hugs the rail, it's because the hand can't ball.
Yeah.
And you can see his hand like.
Oh, my.
Anyways, now when you go watch it, you're gonna be like, oh my god.
All I'm going to see is the hand.
Look at that damn fake hand.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Morgan. My bad.
Hand has
man.
fallen. Dark hand. Everything has changed now.
We're gonna stop talking about Morgan Freeman's
Listen,
underaging
Angel
ass.
has fallen. It was fun.
Yo, it was.
It was really fun.
Yo, I definitely didn't. I think personally, the first one was good. Like now thinking about it, I think I gotta go to see it.
First one was really good.
Second one was.
Do you remember the movie that was just like that with Jamie Foxx? That
Of
was
course, Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum.
White House
White
Down.
House Down. Thank you.
Oh
Bam.
my gosh, that was such a bad version.
Yo, it's so funny because these scripts happen all the time like this, and then when one company realizes that the other one wrote a script, so usually what happens, and I hate to put it this way because it'll discourage people from writing,
Yep.
and then trying to sell your script.
Yep.
So when you go to a producer or go to like a company and try to sell your script,
Yeah.
and they go, "Nah, we don't really like that," but they like the idea. They just
go
didn't
to another
like
writer.
your script.
Yes.
They go to a writer and be like, "Can we write this?"
Yes.
So the first time that this happened was, I mean, it's not the first time, but the first major settlement, like something like this happened where it was Deep Impact.
Whoa.
Because Deep Impact came out a few months before Armageddon.
Same thing.
And it's the same
Wow.
thing.
You remember that Ashton Kutcher movie?
Which one?
It was I think it was Killer. It was him and
him and Cameron Diaz?
no, Cameron Diaz was in the other
Oh,
one.
with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, Night and Day.
Yes, yes.
And what's his name? Ashton Kutcher was with Shorty from Knocked Up.
Katherine Heigl.
Yes.
Blacklisted also. Nobody likes to work with her.
There you go. Now, the other time I noticed it was the Justin Timberlake movie
Okay.
with him. I forgot who he was with, but Ashton Kutcher was in another one of them. I think he was with Mia Kunis. Friends with Benefits.
Yes, Friends with Benefits and
Just Between
No
Us.
Strings Attached.
No Strings Attached.
There we go.
It's Ashton Kutcher who does it every time.
He was probably supposed to be in this one.
You're right. You're right.
They was like, all right, let's get Channing Tatum.
Listen.
You know, that's what.
I enjoyed Angel's Fall.
Yes. All right, so premise. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Gerard Butler.
Yes.
On Painkillers.
Yo, man. Yo.
It's
anytime he
taking
does
a
something
toll
like-
on him.
Yo, it is. Anytime he does, like, as long as it's not a romantic comedy,
Yeah.
I'm good. Like,
I
yo,
like seeing him in pain.
Yeah.
Den of Thieves, he had that face that like, I'm
Yes.
going through a lot.
He's an addict. He's probably
Yes.
like Vice Squad or something.
That's it.
They got to do drugs.
That's
half
it.
the
I
time.
gotta do drugs.
Yeah, yo. You could tell that he's having a hard time adjusting.
Super
Yo,
hard.
all these signs of PTSD. He can't sleep.
It's all there.
The migraines.
Yes.
It's the loss of certain functions, especially obviously mentally, but not being able to focus and obviously being a Secret Service agent. This is literally what you have.
You
got
got to be hyper focused.
right. This is your job.
Yes.
So the whole during this time, like the person who's playing his boss, I can't even remember his name. He was from The Wire. He was he's in John
Wick,
Right.
the manager.
Right, the manager. He's retired.
Yes.
So Bannon is up for a promotion.
Yeah.
He could
the
head
next
Secret
guy.
Service.
Yes.
Right. You could be the director of Secret Service.
It's a lot of money.
Right. And you
And
know,
that's at least 3 years
right. And he's
with
debating
this president.
Right. So his he's going through all this.
Yeah.
So he's debating whether he should even take the position.
Yes.
So
Because he
it's-
knows what he's going through.
Right, exactly. But he hasn't been telling anyone. And obviously when he's on the fishing trip with the president, he kind of sees it, but he also offers him the job. So it's like, yo, I want you to have it. And
Because he trusts him.
right. And due to the fact that, he's going through this stuff, he's like, all right, he's going to call for backup so he can switch out or whatever. And this is when the attack happens.
Oh, shit.
So
Well, what's that? What's that up there? What's that?
yo,
What's that?
drones, right?
Whoa.
Yo, I was like, ooh.
Multiple drones that were fired out. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Just so y'all know, technology.
Listen, but the
on the
thing is,
battlefield.
they had their faces and names.
Right.
They knew the
That you could
individuals that were
identify.
out there. They knew who it was.
You got facial recognition software on the drone with the camera.
Crazy.
While and it's like suicide drones. It wasn't like, all right, we're gonna shoot this and stuff.
Yep.
They are just landing because they're blowing up. Right.
That's
when they
it.
land. So I was like, okay, it's taking out everybody.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So they take out everybody except for Bannon
And the president.
and the president. Well, they didn't get the president. They were supposed to take out the president.
Right.
But they take out everybody except for the Bannon saves the president.
right.
But they come up in a coma. I guess because of the dive into the water. They come up in a coma. Bannon wakes up. President is not woken up yet.
Right.
He's cuffed. Guess who pops up? I did not. I don't know. Did I miss this in the trailer?
I don't even know. I can't. Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith
Oh, okay.
popped up.
Yo, ain't nobody know how to be serious than Jada.
She was running
Yo,
it. She was running it.
I feel like Jada, she could do a whole lot of roles, and you
Yes.
just be like, "Oh, okay."
I need to see her more.
Yeah.
I need to see her more. Give her some. You know what? I haven't really seen. I mean, she did The Matrix, but I haven't really seen her
I don't think
do
she
like
cares.
an action.
I don't think. See. So she's like one of my artists. Like you do what you want. Like
That's
if
it.
you're gonna take a role, take a role.
Oh, I
if
like
you're not
this
gonna
one.
take a role, take a role.
I like this script.
But again, like she's got so much stuff going on. She's
Yeah.
got the podcast.
Yeah.
She also has
Red Table.
the metal band.
Uh-huh.
Like I was just like, oh, you got a metal band?
Yeah.
A metal band?
And she's raising those extremely talented children.
Right, exactly. It's like I could just sit back and relax.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Ain't nobody out here. Ain't no struggling artists out here.
And when she pops up, I'm super excited.
Right, exactly. So
Jada Pinkett, investigated, head of
What
she's
she
running
called?
the
CIA?
FBI.
FBI. Okay.
So she's in the FBI. We're trying to figure out. We think it was you.
right, all the evidence is
All
pointing
the
to you.
evidence.
Okay.
So now we got to think back. I didn't think back.
right,
The opening scene, I knew it was something. This is the one thing about these movies is they kind of telegraph certain things.
yeah, they do.
They kind of telegraph certain things.
I think some people just can't get the twist. Like they can't.
There was one big twist.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that yet, but they kind of telegraphed certain things, so we knew this person was going to be involved because we found out their capabilities. He's out there. Gerard Butler's character is out there. He's at this new training facility. We found out that these guys are private contractors, but they also train. They also, because that's what a lot of private contractors do. They go out and they train other armed forces.
They have former, usually just like the scenario, they have former military compounds.
Yes.
And they're usually just building their stuff so that they can train.
Yes.
And they can basically do either one, train themselves for a specific contract that they may have, or they have contracts where they're training people to do these things.
So this guy, he wants Gerard Butler, who potentially is going to be the
director,
the next director, to give them the contract.
right?
Or does he even care about that?
Right.
So as we go along, we know that Gerard Butler is framed.
Right.
We know that these guys are involved. We end up finding that out. This was the dumbest thing that they did. You've done this whole thing by yourself, and you've attempted to kill the president. So we're going to transport you. Right. This is obviously the baddest motherfucker in the land if he was able to kill the president this well.
Right.
And by himself, just with the Kremlin.
Yeah, I would have just been like, but why? If I was trying to kill the president, why I kill everyone but the president?
Dude, I wouldn't have to send the drones. I was right next to you.
The whole time.
The whole time I was with them.
I fixed the bait. I could have just set it up so that he ended up bleeding out by himself.
That's it.
Anyways.
But the president wasn't awake to say, hey, we was out there fishing. The motherfuckers was with me. So, boom. They believe that it's him. Now he's got to clear his name.
Right.
But he's on the road. They're transporting him. Soldiers come out. We don't know who they are. Boom, boom, boom. They kill all the people that's transporting him except for him. Put him in the vehicle. Mm-hmm. They want to make it like he escaped.
And again,
they get killed. They underestimate the baddest killer in the world.
Yo, this dude is bad, dog.
So he chokes them all out. Don't even need a gun.
Right.
Chokes them all out in the car. And then he starts his chase.
Let the airbags kill him.
I always like people on the run.
Right.
If somebody's on the run.
What's your favorite one? U.S. Marshals? Wesley Snipes? I mean, the Fugitive.
I would be honest with you. Enemy of the State.
Ooh.
I really like Enemy of the State.
Okay.
I love me some Will Smith and Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
Shit was fun. Take off your shoes.
Yeah.
Take off your shoes. This is how they find you.
with the potato chip bag, putting everything in the potato chip bag.
That's it. This is how they find you.
I'm gonna go watch that today.
Enemy of the State is good. Yeah. Will Smith running in that white robe.
Yeah, Regina King.
Lisa
Bonet.
Wow.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay. Back to Bannon.
Okay. So boom, he's on the run. Calls his wife.
Yeah.
Calls his wife. Baby, I'm all right. I know you're listening. It's not me. I'm gonna figure this out.
Right.
Did some mercenaries?
Yo.
Not mercenaries, a militia. A local militia.
Yo, that was fun.
Oh my gosh.
All right. But I like the fact that they didn't do your typical stuff. Like they tried to give you different perspectives.
They didn't do what they did before either.
Right. So
which is so good. And this whole movie, I just enjoyed Morgan Freeman's reactions. Yeah. Like, did you see him on the boat? They had like a little shot of him on the boat through the glass. He was like,
yeah.
I was like, I feel these drones. I feel the death impending on Morgan Freeman through his eyes. He is great.
He's terrified for his life.
He's great.
You know what he was thinking? He was like, how am I going to swim if I have to jump in the water with one hand?
One hand. Doggy paddles out for me.
Yeah.
But Gerard Butler is great in this movie.
Yeah.
They,
He drove a semi.
Whoa.
Yo, on a you know how difficult it is.
It's a lot.
16 gears.
Air
21
brakes.
Yo,
It's a lot going on.
man.
It was really good. All the setups
Yeah.
were really good,
Yeah.
and they were really fun. They didn't do anything that was traditional. I mean,
It was old school action
was-
sequences.
That's right.
But it was new age. It wasn't like we're just going to give you the typical,
Yes.
the explosion that someone explodes 5
Yes.
feet in the air.
Yes.
And, so I definitely enjoyed that.
and it seemed real. It seemed Peter Berg real, with
Yeah.
the guys getting blown away at the beginning.
Yeah.
It was all fun. And the story, I mean, Gerard Butler's going to clear his name.
Right.
But the point is, how does
Right.
he? How does he
And
clear
then,
his name?
going to find his father, I was like, ah, yes.
See, and that's the level up.
Yeah.
Because excluding that, the movie doesn't bring that next level.
Right.
Having Nick Nolte pop up as his father and then kind of explaining what he's experiencing through what he's going through
Right.
through a different time,
Right.
which we all know what people experience who came from Nam. Man, it was great. And having them motherfuckers blow up in the forest was fantastic.
Tell me that wasn't the funniest part.
I didn't tell you to run that way.
I'm out here like, like, nice little comedy jabs. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, this is perfect. This is nice.
And it didn't seem stupid, like
Right.
when they just like, oh, we're gonna turn this into a buddy situation.
Right.
And okay, but I knew Telegraph, I knew he was gonna go save the family. I knew it. But I'm happy he did.
Right, exactly.
Because then it made sense. It made sense that now he's in part of the fold.
Right now,
Okay.
now he doesn't have to worry about saving the family
Yes.
and saving the president
Exactly.
at the same time. So.
Exactly. Plus, Nick Nolte is essentially saving the family that he didn't save the last time. So he's saving the family for his son, so the son won't be in the same position that he was.
Do you have a?
This is actually better writing for an action film than most action
Right.
films actually get.
Do you have a favorite Nick Nolte movie?
I like Blue Chips a lot.
Ooh, Blue Chips is really good. And Nick Nolte, not to be confused with Guy Busey, because
No.
a lot of people seem to confuse those two guys.
There's probably Blue Chips. I didn't watch as much Nick Nolte. I mean, 48 Hours, of
Right.
course.
My favorite is probably Gladiator. You ever seen Gladiator?
No.
Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton. They play like brothers who.
Oh, when they
were-
okay, yeah, I've seen Gladiator. Okay.
That's probably I liked his role in there because that's probably like his first role since like the old alcoholic. Stuff
Yeah,
that
new Nick Nolte.
Yeah, the new Nick Nolte. Like people were just like, "No, we can't have him." Just like, still act.
Really
You
good.
know?
Really good. He was the emotion of the movie.
Yeah.
God damn, Nick Nolte almost made me cry.
It's true. You can hardly tell who Tom Hardy is in that movie. I'm just
That's
like,
true.
yo, like
That's true.
And then
Really changed.
Joel Edgerton. I mean, underrated actor,
Yep.
underrated writer, and decent director. So
What was that movie he did that I ended up watching?
right.
No, the movie that he wrote. What was the movie? he wrote?
The one where
I really enjoyed Bright.
I did too.
Yeah.
But the movie where was it when he was with his wife and him and
Mm-hmm.
his sister? They went away, like to the Southeast Asia, and then turns out that like the girl's boyfriend is a smuggler or a dealer.
Oh no, not that one.
Oh man, you gotta watch that one. That one's a really good one. I gotta find out the name of that.
It's the one. I think it's some people and he plays like.
Oh, The Gift.
The Gift.
Yes, with
Okay,
Jason
that's
Bateman.
it. Okay.
That one's really good.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
The Gift. Go check that out.
So, Nick Nolte showed up.
Yep.
Gerard Butler showed up. What's his name showed up?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman without all of his hands. But he showed his performance show. His performance show. Everybody was good.
Yeah.
Everybody was good.
They
The
had
man-
a good ensemble cast.
Jada Pinkett showed up. It was a lot of moving pieces, and they still managed it well. There were things that were telegraphed, but I think that they were aware that we're going to telegraph this part.
So that we can hide this.
We can
part.
hide this
Right,
part,
right,
which
right,
is
right,
which is fine for the sacrifice because you're playing with the moviegoer's mind of like, okay, I know this is coming. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun because they they did hide the vice president really well.
Yeah.
They hit it really well. It was, if you kind of just harping back to the way he responded, it's like, oh, he was just lying.
Honestly, I at first I thought, I was like, oh, maybe they won't reveal
Who else was involved.
so that it just leads to the fourth movie.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean,
The only thing about this is like they revealed. It wasn't like we found out as much. They kind of just revealed.
Yeah.
But we, so it wasn't like, oh, ooh, I think it's closer. You know who I was starting to think it was? I was starting to think it was the retirement CIA.
oh yeah, I thought it was. So
retiring.
originally, my thought was it was between those two.
Yeah.
And but then later on I was just like, all right, well, the thing that really gave it away was a private contract. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, okay, this is the one reason. You know, so
But they at least they made it make sense because he obviously had a different power, but it was a different feeling on the structure of how everything was going to go.
Right.
We don't want it to go in this direction. But he wanted to continue showing the power of America. So obviously this is what you would do.
and I think it gave like that realism where there are people on your staff who don't agree with what you're doing.
don't agree.
Always. Like that's always the case. So but I liked it. I enjoyed the way it turned out.
The end scene.
That was certainly fun.
Gerard Butler gets back, turns himself in. What movie did they do that they turned himself in? Mile 22. Okay. But that was like the deception on the inside. He kind of fake turned himself in. But he turns himself in. And he's like, yo, would I turn myself in if I was trying to kill the president? And then he defends the president. That was, first of all, them blowing up the hospital was wild.
Yo. Oh.
I didn't even know that was possible. I'm thinking like, yo, they hacking elections. Like, let's check the hospitals, B.
But yo, what about they just straight off and killed Jada Pinkett?
Yo.
Spoilers.
Baby girl's dead.
Yeah, they were just. I was just like, oh, this is gonna build up. Pop, 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 pop. That's it.
Yeah.
Done deal. That's
Baby
it.
girl's dead.
Yo. I don't know. I was just shocked.
No, they didn't even have her like, you know how they do like the crawl, like,
Right.
trying to get the gun, and then he stands over and shoots. Nah, he just.
Yo, no shootout, no nothing. Yeah, they were just like, yo.
Why did they go by themselves? Man.
So I mean, obviously, we all know how this goes, how this ends, this, that, and
The interesting thing I thought it was fun is like everything kind of goes back to that conversation that he has with him, and he's like, "We're both lions." And that guy, he was in for it because this is what he kind of wanted to go out like that.
Right.
He wanted to go out like that, and it was a great ending.
Yeah, that fight
Great
scene, yeah.
ending.
Okay.
It was extra levels. Okay, they got the president out. Okay, now we got to defend. All the deception. You thought it was in this door. Oh no! And then now there's the big fight.
Yeah.
What I did also like is how they telegraphed the beginning scene, just like the scene before the end scene of him by himself going through a maze of all these mercenaries getting out and him not making it.
Right.
But this time, him going through all these mercenaries and making it. So it's action filmmaking at its finest. Yeah. Because like it's an action film.
Right.
We already know who's heroes and bad guys. So what else can you do outside of that?
Clear cut.
Everything's clear cut. What else can you do outside of that makes things fun for everybody? Right. Because the whole theater was laughing when Nick Nolte was on. Everybody was laughing doing no scenes. Everybody was oh, what's going on? You know what I mean? And Morgan Freeman played, Winded very well. He played, like he was like, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I can't really. I'm dizzy.
Put me in the wheelchair.
I just got out of a coma.
Open my eyes. What's going on?
This is too much. This is so much going on.
Yeah.
But that shape up was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
They aged him. That's what they aged him. What did you give it?
Okay, in the realm of action films, I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Oh yeah.
In the realm of, I had a good time. I had a really good time. This, I feel like this is gonna go down in history in enjoyment on the level of like some of the best diehards.
Right.
You know, it's really one of those enjoyable films, and it kind of was one of those movies that kind of took a lot of those movies, because this is The Fugitive, On the Run, and partially the hero. You know, all of those things, because he wasn't just clearing his name; he also had to save the president, and ultimately saving the United States from these evil private contractors. I gave it a 4.5. I had a good time watching this.
Right, I had a really good time. I think that it's tough because now, especially after we reviewed John Wick and we reviewed Mission Impossible,
we gave that strong.
Those movies
They
are
were
tough.
strong,
right? So it's tough.
Bigger set pieces for Mission Impossible.
As far as, because look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm to the point where I got to start giving quarter grades, like that's
just to go under a little bit.
So as far as in the realm of action movies, I'm gonna give it a 4.25.
Okay.
But as far as movies in general, I'm giving it 3 3/4. So
Story.
yeah, the story was good. The action was phenomenal.
Yep.
The writing, the performance, and the action was great. It's probably but the filming, the CGI, the cinematography wasn't on the level of those other two films.
But you know, what's a scene that I really loved?
Which one?
When the police officers were chasing him in the semi, and they had the camera in the police cruiser.
Yes.
That shit was dope.
I was just like, okay.
There was some real dope scenes.
All right, so the one thing that bothered me, and this bothers me in most movies, because I mean, maybe I'm too much of a realist sometimes. But then when I was just like, oh, he's running. Yo, have you ever ran in the woods?
No.
Have you ever ran in the woods in the dark?
You're gonna trip over everything.
Right, and that's what, one of the things that bothered me. It's just yo, there's no way, just to get in the woods and you
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 should be able to
literally
run
have
that
to
fast.
be feeling around to get you can't see the tree in front of you.
Yeah.
So those are one of my things. But I was just like, ooh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But they cut the scene right after.
You're right.
He just ran and that was it. It was
and they kind of made it like he wasn't running for that long.
Right.
They just kind of lost him,
Right.
Because it's the woods.
And I mean, especially where he was, I always think about, oh, what would I do if I'm in that situation?
Yeah.
I always think, first thing I'm doing is I'm going down the side that they think I'm going down.
Yeah.
And he was over the bridge. I'm going right through the bridge and running back.
Yeah.
I'm going back the way that they just came. Because that's the last thing that they're thinking.
You're right.
They're just
not going to show back up
right.
where the cruise is.
Because they're not even on the backside. Because
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, this is where the window was. You saw him go out.
Yeah.
He ran that way. We going that way.
That's it.
The moment I'm going underneath the bridge and going back, you're not even
It's
on
too
that
dark.
side.
You're not gonna see me.
And I'm going back.
You're not going to see me.
So yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
Wow.
waiting for them to bring the dog.
I
out.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. But 3.25, 4.25, 4.5. I like it. In that range.
Yes.
Enjoy it. You could go out there and enjoy
This is definitely a go see.
Yes, definitely a go see.
You definitely should go see it in the theaters too.
It's the end of the summer.
It's the end of the summer.
You gotta see it.
It got me hyped. I was like,
You was out there. Did you jump out the movie theater, roll in the whatchamacallit? Get down! Save him!
so
right.
good.
So what are our topics today? What are we gonna go hit
Topic
first?
every week. We pull out a topic to film. Listen, it was obvious. PTSD.
Yes.
This is something serious.
It's the concussions.
Yes.
It's a lot of things and it's a lot of symptoms, and the whole thing is that it's a lot of things that people, one, they don't know what they're dealing with, so they just assume that time will heal all.
Yeah.
Because it's not that serious. It's momentary. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get through this until, one, then you're not sleeping.
Yes.
And then you're not sleeping for days.
Exactly.
Then you're not sleeping for weeks. Mm-hmm. And then for the fact that it goes away and it comes back, those are the things that you worry about.
Chronic.
Right. So, and then it's just all right, well, how much of it is affecting you?
Yes.
And especially having being part of either some military force or having a background in police force, even it's any situation. I mean, I think we had spoken on an article a couple episodes ago. This was probably in the beginning, honestly, first 10 episodes. But they had monitored kids growing up in Chicago and how in high school they showed signs of PTSD.
I could imagine.
And it was one of the reasons why they had such a hard time learning in school, because you're more worried about getting to and from school
Yes.
and growing up rather than actually being in school.
Yes.
So that was probably one of the first times I was just like, yo, kids,
Yeah.
PTSD, like that's wild.
As a culture, we don't give a lot of people time to work through that either.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, you still got to survive. And that's what this character was going to do. I still got to take care of my family. Right. We're having more children. I got work. Like, there's no time to just work on your mental health, which we should all be giving each other that time, because there's stuff that we're all going to need to work on.
Right.
Your thing may be PTSD. My thing may be grief, or my thing may whatever it is, just general depression. Who knows what it is going to be? If it's nothing, great. You're just one of those lucky people that don't have to deal with anything like that.
Right.
But still give other people the leeway and the time to work on that within themselves.
Exactly.
And we got to change the stigma to it, you know? It just, listen, work on you. Work on your mental health. Work on whatever's going on in your life. Speak to somebody, you know? And that's what they weren't willing to do. People easy to go to the pills just to level out, get away from it, do whatever, drugs, drinking, whatever they try to use, whatever substance. But speaking to someone is always the best case.
Right.
And that's where it starts. And we should, listen, trial it. Even if you're going through nothing, everybody should have like one therapy session.
Right.
Just like you go to your doctor, you get your physical. You should have a mental physical.
It's crazy. Like, it's something that, and especially like knowing that the fact that this leads into basically our next topic is, you know, it leads to the prescription drug abuse.
Easy.
You know, and it's one of those things where like you're trying to find a way to cope. You're trying to find a way to self-medicate.
Yes.
And it's the thing that like, you know, you're always looking, but you're not actually finding.
Yep.
So you just now it's not even trying to fix the situation. You're just looking for the outlet. Yeah. Like just to get out of the situation or that feeling. And we spoke about something else a bunch of episodes ago that it turns out that the military doesn't really do much research on these things anymore. And this is the crazy part. And there's, you know, individual programs, and there was this one, I want to say in the last 2 or 3 years, I want to say it's called the Fallen Hero program or something. But this one doctor found out that it's actually a hormonal imbalance. So the thing that actually happens is that, so this is the one, so when you start realizing the difference of hormones and what it does to you, is that you come back and your body is not producing testosterone, or it's not producing something that your body necessarily needs. Yep. And for the fact that your body doesn't have the hormones, your mind can't quite function properly. So like, so the whole thing is that like, all right, well, because now whatever the hormonal imbalance is, this is the same thing that they say, like when kids are growing up and, you know, you see like, oh, the kid is acting wild. Yeah. Most of the time it's because his hormones are changing. And it's like, all right, well, now the imbalance is, oh, the kid must have rage, or the kid must, he's not, it's most of the times it's all it is a hormonal imbalance. So there's one doctor, he read the hormonal levels, and because our regular FDA approved hormonal ranges are appropriate. Yeah. But when you're in that field, it's so different. It changes. You have so many different levels. So now the couple people that he did certain studies on, he gave them like, look, just take this. And guys were coming back like, I'm already off my meds. Get out of here. It was like, yo, I had the first conversation with my wife since I left to the military. Whoa. So it was just like people just rebalancing their hormones and making your body reacclimate to how it should be. Yeah. People were normal like this. Wow. But the whole thing is that if the government doesn't approve it, they can't get it. Yeah. And that's the crazy part. Just anxiety and stress, you see in the hormonal reaction. Wow. So it was just like, just to know that could be the problem with 60 to 75% of them. Yeah. You know? Because it's just like you hear the same things every time. Oh, they can't function properly. Yeah. They can't have conversations. They can't do this. Yeah. The hormonal imbalance eases, takes away the anxiety, takes away the stress, takes away the worry. Now, this is the whole thing. If you're taking all that away, now I don't have nightmares. Now I can sleep. Yeah. Now all the things that I've been working to get are coming back. And my body's just normalizing. Yeah, because if you're not sleeping, that's just going to increase the anxiety and stress. Right. It's not like, all right, you taking a medication for sleep, it's not quite natural sleep.
No.
You know? So it's just like, it's so many things that like, all right, well, we're just going to give you these things. Oh, you need to talk about it. You need to let it out. Like, it's also that fact that like there's biological things that are happening.
Yeah.
And now that this doctor has seen it, it's just like, you know, getting the information out to like these people so that they can understand. That's the crazy part. We're just like, we need to understand that like this can normalize people.
Yeah.
You know? So it's wild though, you know? I don't know what else.
It's so crazy. It's so many different therapies and things. We have solutions.
Right.
We have the studies. We're just not implementing.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's kind of like I wonder if we want whole people. You know,
Right.
do we really want people whole and fully sane and fully functioning? Because if they're whole and fully sane and fully functioning, will they start telling like, you know, what's really happening there?
Right.
You know, because you can kind of, you know, oh, he's just, you know, he's crazy. You know, he's been through something.
Right.
When he starts talking about, you know, what he experienced and the people they killed, you know, stuff like that. Well, but just beyond that, like in the movie where they started to explore private contracting.
Yes.
It's something that kind of came up, I think, in the past couple of years. I started to learn about the private contractors that are actually training other military forces, not ours, but other military forces in the places that we occupy and getting their military forces up.
Doing
and
security for
doing
private companies.
security. And there's millions of so when people talk about the military industrial complex, they're not just talking about our soldiers and the people who make the weapons.
And they don't
They're-
realize that.
Yes, they're talking about the people who are making the weaponry, who are interested in selling more of it and selling more ships and selling more planes, and people who are utilizing this stuff, who are hiring soldiers after they come out the armed forces to go continue to do that work, but paying them handsomely. I don't know. Let's say the average soldier is making 50 grand a year. They're probably, if they go private, they're probably making 150 grand,
Yes, they are.
which we know from a lot of movies. A lot of these people for private, like in what's the Liam Neeson movie? Taken. He worked for a private contracting company. So like all of these things and the issues that they have with private contractors, because a lot of stuff that we've come find out in a lot of these court cases weren't even really our soldiers. They were private contractors and all the things that they're willing to do out there and how our laws kind of don't cover them in a certain
They
way.
don't have to follow rules
Rules of engagement.
Rules of engagement, all that. So the crazy part is that, all right, we can have a scenario where we're fighting a war and we're in Afghanistan and we're ready to pull out.
Yes.
And the idea is that, okay, well, the government is looking for some sort of private force that would do what they were doing there.
Yeah.
But they would pay this money.
Yes.
And the whole thing is like, the idea is that, all right, well, they're going to pay us. We're going to go do this. And if it's something like, let's say we're going to train this country's force, then we can get some side money from them.
Yes.
And the whole thing is now where the government was taking in a certain amount of money, we'll do it for less, but we have a minimal number of people compared to what the government has.
Yes.
So now if you're coming off of your 4-year contract, you're going, oh, I can go private and I can do the same thing I was just doing yesterday.
Yes.
And I can make 3 or 4 times what I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go do that.
Yes.
So it's just like, you know, people don't quite realize
Security
that.
detail for foreign dignitaries, all kinds of stuff.
Everything. And the whole thing is that no rules of engagement. Okay, this is weapons ready.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got the green light?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't have to worry about it. Oh, what I was making before, I can do that in 6 months. Go
Yes.
home for 6 months and come back.
That's it.
Oh, okay. There's only 200 of us, not 2 million of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's about even that was dealt with Equalizer too.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gone bad. I mean, and we understand one of the real big private contractors. I think is Blackwater. Is it Blackwater?
And whatchamacallit?
I think he's a DeVos, right? Isn't he a DeVos?
I don't even know.
It's all insidious right now.
Right.
I think the guy who runs Blackwater is related to the woman who's the secretary who runs education for the United States.
Yeah. So they're fighting for these contracts. They're fighting
It's
for millions of
all
dollars for
about
the government to
millions.
give money.
It's all about millions.
Let me get them taxpayer dollars.
That's it. That's what people need to understand. When you're worried about people and their food stamps, whether they are immigrants or they're American citizens, you're probably only spending less than $50 a year out of yours. But guess who's taking thousands of your tax dollars? These private contracts, because the military-industrial military-industrial complex is their budget is encompassing all of that.
Right.
Every time when they're hiring the private contractors, that's where the money is coming from, and that's where that dark money is going.
They're asking for the contracts.
They asking for the contracts worth millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars. And guess what? They are not interested in cashing out once.
Right.
There's no interest in them stopping their business.
Right.
And how do you market a business as such? How? How do you keep a business like that alive? But being a part of some insidious things and wanting the constant of war. And that's why we're stuck.
We're supplying our own mercenaries.
That's it.
That's it, yo.
That's it. Crazy.
That was a good third episode.
Wow, great third episode, guys. 3 episodes this week from the Loose Cannons. You're going to get your power review. You're going to get your social media content, and you're going to get your movie review.
Okay.
This week it was Angel Has Fallen.
Yes.
I'm No Justin, No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
We are the Loose Cannons Podcast, and every week we are hitting you with that content where we commentate about today's pop culture, politics, and movies and how they all intersect. Follow us on social media, guys.
Like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We there. Guys, we had a great time with you.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. Peace.